All right. So the first thing I want to mention here is words matter. So when I teach this concept and when you're thinking about this podcast, it is a podcast on referrals. But the word introduction has a better connotation to it. So if I say, Austin, who can you refer me to? It's just not quite as nice of a word as who might you be comfortable making an introduction to. So that's kind of the first little tip is use the word introduction, not referral.
Hmm.
So the next thing I'll talk about here is if you're someone who has an established business and you have a dozen or more clients, many of you out there listening to this probably have hundreds of clients. In my opinion, in my experience, referrals should be your number one source of new business. And frankly, there shouldn't even be a close second. And I'm going to give you some stats around referrals as we kind of get toward the end of our time together here. But one of the misnomers out there around when to ask, and I'm going to paint out some bullets here, is that we need to sell a deal. They need to have used our product or services for N number of months, and then we can ask. And that's a belief I used to have.
Hmm.
Reality is, and I'm pretty direct, so I hope the audience is okay with that. That's just wrong. That's just, what we would call here at Sandler head trash. The situation is such that at which point you've gone through a selling cycle and you've established enough trust for someone to agree to do business with you, that is a prime opportunity to ask. Products and services are not perfect. The pinnacle of your new client's excitement may just be the time when they sign the contract. And don't wait 6 months halfway through a deployment that may not have gone perfectly. It may not even have been your fault, but we're missing out. So the first thing I want to have people think about is when should we ask? Well, at the time a deal closes is one, but another one is when you get a compliment. I have trained my brain that whenever a customer says you're doing a great job for me and my team, I'm going to say, hey, Joe, I really appreciate that. And then I'm going to go into, which I'll demonstrate here in a moment. I'm going to go into, a introduction ask. So if that's a habit we can establish, it's going to pay you back tenfold. I've already mentioned this when the deal is closing at our regular check-in calls. Yes, of course, fine to ask also after deployment. Um, in the IT world, the world that I grew up in, and it's broader than that, but QBR, EBR, QBR stands for quarterly business review, EBR stands for executive business review. So I just want people to be thinking sort of broad about the way that we ask and when we ask and what the timing is. And usually that window of opportunity to ask is much bigger than most salespeople think it is.